Welcome to the Education Resource Corner, where we do our best to make online learning easier for everyone. In this video, we are going to use Google Groups to create a mailing list to send information to our entire student body. They will receive this as an email, but they will not be able to respond to it. This is because a mailing list is meant to be a one-way traffic affair. It is a tool to disseminate information to large bodies of people, such as our student body, or if you have a business, your clientele. I am sure that you are going to find this to be a very important tool to communicate in your school. So without wasting your time, let's go and build our mailing list right now. If you are already logged into your Google account, you can get to Groups by typing groups.google.com in a new tab and press enter, and that is going to take you to your Groups interface. But normally what I will do, since I work from Gmail, I will simply go to the apps launcher and click Groups, and that will take you or take me to the Groups interface. Okay, so the user interface for the Google Groups application is quite simple. On the left, you have a menu where you can create groups. Here I have a list of all my groups that I created. We can look at the recent groups, or we can look at all the groups that are available to me, but I would focus on my groups. And in my groups, I have 5 groups here. 4 of these are internal to Edu, and 1 is an external group that was created since 2015. What we are going to do, since there are 5 groups at Edu, 5 classes, sorry, and I only have groups for the first 4, we are going to create a group for the Form 5 students so that we can send information to those students when it is necessary. To create a new group, I'll go to the Create Group button. And here you can see I added Form 5 for my group name, and the application added a hyphen because there's a space between Form and 5 to the group email that it created, but I am going to remove the hyphen. I'll skip the group description for now, or let me just write Form 5 Turk Edu 2022. Click next. And the first thing we are going to do is to restrict membership to people who are invited, because we want this to be a private group. The next thing we have to do is limit the privileges that are available to only admins, because we do not want the Form 5 to respond to these emails that we'll be sending out. So basically what we are going to do is give the managers, only the managers or owners of this mailing group, the ability to send mail, to look at users, or to communicate with users. We do not want the Form 5 to respond. This is a similar case. So if you had a company and you are sending out emails to a large group of people, then you would not want to be faced with thousands and thousands of emails to respond to. Okay, so we are in the next tab and need to add members. The fastest way to do that is to use a spreadsheet, and I have prepared Google Sheets here just for that. By the way, these names are random names that were generated by this site, and all I have to do now, since I have these emails already made up, is to simply copy the entire column and return to my group dialog box and paste those emails there and press enter. And what I would also do here is add the principal as the manager for the group, so that she'll be able to send a message to this group. And I'm going to create the group by clicking the create button. So let's wait for the software to work its magic. And here we have the button, sorry, the window to indicate, or the form to indicate that the group has been created. And let's jump to that group right now. So here we have list of customization that we can do. We look at our conversations. We can, okay, so this is conversation. We can also look at the members that are in the group. So let's do that now. Okay, so here we see these are our members. So that's okay. Let's go and tweak a few settings down at the group settings. You can get to these settings by clicking the menu items here, or if you want, you could simply scroll. In this case, we do not want anyone to contact the group owners, so we are going to reduce all of these to managers. We already have that the managers are the only person that can post or view members or can view conversations, because at the end of the day, this is not going to be even in a conversation mode. It's going to be email that are pushed out. If you don't allow email posting here, when you try to compose from Gmail, that would not work. So we'd allow email posting, allow web posting, and we come down who can privately reply to the authors. No, we are not going to have any reply to any authors. Only the managers can attach files. And these settings are self-explanatory. I don't think you'll have a problem with them. Only down here, we probably want the default sender to be the group address, because if you do not want the members to contact you, whereas they may not be able to respond to an email, if you have your address here, you could simply copy it and respond or communicate with you directly. If you do not want that to happen, put group address as the default sender. And I believe this should be good enough for our group. So let's save this setting now. So now that this is saved, we are going to go and send a message to our spiffy new group. So let's go back to the My Groups interface. And this is the new group that we just created. We started with 4 groups. We added this one. Oh, before we send a message, what we can probably do is create what you can call a super group that essentially is made up of all of these groups, so that we could send message to the entire student body. The interesting thing is that since we have these groups, we could add them to the groups that we are creating as a subgroup. So let's do that now. We go to create group. Okay, so we are in the first window of our create group. And as you can see, what I did is added to Students 2022 as our group name and shortened the name in the email to turk.stu2022. I'm going to skip the group description for this one and click next. As usual, we are going to limit our membership to only invited users and who can view conversations. Everything here is going to be pointed to the group managers. We click next. And for group members, as I said before, what I am going to do is simply add the class groups as the members. No welcome message. We are going to create a group. And as usual, we are going to go to the groups and tweak the membership settings. So down here, we don't want anybody to contact the manager, no view others' email address, because if this is a large mailing group with members all over the world and some folks want to keep their email private, you don't want members to be viewing that. So we are going to limit, as I said, all these privileges to only the manager, and we are going to let the default sender be the group email address. We are not going to look at moderation on these things as yet, because in other videos in the series, then those would be important. So that's it for this group. We can save the changes now, and let's go back to look at members. And here we see the group is made up of 2 members, which would be the owner, which is me, Tom, teacher, and the principal. But interestingly now, it's saying we have as the members 5 subgroups. So by using subgroups now, we actually reduce the amount of work that we have to do. In the next part of the video, we are going to send messages to our groups. So let's go do that now. Okay, so here we are in our form, newly created Form 5 group. Let's start a new conversation, and it would be something very simple and silly. Hi, and hello there. I am going to post that message. This is how it looks in a conversation. Just going to open it. And so this is what we see when we open the message. Besides the subject and content, you will notice that I have the ability to reply all, reply to author, or forward the message. And that is because I am the owner. What I'm going to do is go and look at one of the members to see how they are going to view the message. So let's look at Ginger Baldwin's view of this message. Now, she is not a manager or the owner of the group. So she's going to get a slightly different view based on the restrictions that we created when we were setting up the group. Okay, so this is Ginger's inbox with the message that we just sent from the Form 5 groups. When we open it, we see the message, hello there, with the typical mailing list disclaimer that says you received this message because you are part of a mailing list or group in this case. Go and subscribe, click this link. And she also has the ability to view the conversation. So let's see if we could do that. And boom, she gets the message that says the conversation cannot be found. It might have been deleted. That is because we set it that members cannot view conversations. So this is working out fine. Let's see if she could see the message if she goes to her group's application. Okay, so she's in the Form 5 group because we just added her. And again, she's getting a message, well, a different message is saying that you don't have permission to access this content, which is how we set it up in the group setting. Members cannot view only, owners and managers. All right, so the other thing is that she's not supposed to be able to reply or send messages to the group simply because this is a one-way traffic group. Only owners and managers can send message. So let's see if we can reply. We are going to send a simple message. Thank you. Click send. And whoops. Let's see what happened. Hello, Ginger. No, this is interesting. Let's click here. Okay. Yes. I was just tricking you because I know that she would receive a message from the mail delivery subsystem that says the group that you are trying to contact doesn't exist, or you don't have permission to post messages to the group, which is what we just set up. So that is basically it. If you want to send information to large bodies or to your, in our case, your entire student body, this is the way to go to set up a mailing list in Google's group. We are asking you now to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and if you have any topic that you would like to discuss or let us make a tutorial on as far as Google Workspace for Education is concerned, just drop us a line in the comment below. In the meanwhile, have a good one.